Hey guys, we're here with Jonathan Solonic Thomas, and what did you just do?
I went undefeated in Swiss at Australian Nationals and ended up taking second place.
Alright, what did you play for this weekend?
I played Domain Monarchs.
Before we get into the list, do you want to explain why you played Domain over the popular XYZ variant?
Well, because I expected to play a lot of BA and a lot of XYZ Monarchs, and we came to the conclusion that the Domain matchup versus both of those decks is actually really, really good. Because versus the XYZ Monarch deck, if you just open the Domain lock, like obviously they can out it so easily, but the thing is they have a lot of dead cards in their hands going going second, sorry. And it's really hard for them to like be able to actually get a monster on board if they've opened like so optimally, like if they see their brilliant fusions or their instant fusions or so forth. And like the Domain just gives you so many free wins in Swiss, like against Pendulum, which was really popular as well, and BA you just get a free roll through it. So that was my main reasoning behind it, really.
Alright, we can talk about runs later. Do you want to get into a deck?
Yeah, sure. So let's play 3 Aether, which is super standard. 3 Erebus, 2 Karaz, 1 Majesty's Fiend, because, it's good versus BA and stuff. And I'll play 1 Caius.
Right, so do you want to explain some of these ratios, particularly the Kuraz and the Caius?
I don't really have to explain the Kuraz, you don't really want to see 3, but you need the second one. But my reason behind running Caius is because in this deck, I run double escalation to give me an edge in the mirror. Because escalation, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful cards in this deck. And being able to tribute someone twice during your opponent's turn is so strong. And this card is so good in the mirror. Because in the Monarch mirror, it often comes down to this massive grind fest. And Caius not having to send 2 spells and traps and being able to like keep your resources in deck is actually really strong. And also the fact that you can just banish the trap means you can just completely outgrind your opponent. There's hardly little they can do there. Plus it only requires 1 tribute as well, so it's so easy. So mainly it's just there for the escalation.
So this escalation loop, did it come up a lot during the day?
Yeah, it did. That's how I won pretty much all my Monarch mirrors really. Because the general idea is like you have whole reason behind why I ran 2 escalation rather than 3 is because you'll have 2 escalations. So you'll escalation a Monarch, and then you'll trick your return, and then you can escalation the Monarch you just searched. So like for example, you can like drop an Erebus, and you can like search a Caius, so you can hit like a card in their hand, and you just drop the Caius, and you can just banish their trap if you're in a mirror. Or like you're versing like Cosmo, you like Erebus, like a back row or a town something, and you just drop Majesty's Fiend at the same time. It was really good. And also, like, running 2 escalation, it's easy to get off Pantheism, how relevant that is.
Right, did you ever miss a third Kuraz?
No. I mean, I guess it lost me the finals, but, it's not really justification for playing 3. Because I drew 2 Kuraz and I wasn't able to Aether Poppy's Nept Abyss, but no, I definitely wouldn't run the third one.
Right, let's head on to the spells.
We'll still got some more monsters left.
Oh.
Put the 3 red layer because it's tribute folder and tribute monster. 2 Edia, 2 Eidos, and 1 Mithra.
Right, why did you go with this ratio?
I actually played Rotor as well. So I went for there's a pretty basic ratio that a lot of people are running. They're running the 3 Edia, the 2 Eidos, and the 1 Mithra. And the reason they do that is because you want to keep going Edia into Eidos. So you want the 2 Eidos to banish for the Edia, but the third one you don't need because you can't summon another one from deck. So it makes more sense to play the third copy of Mithra because it's way better to draw than Eidos. And I just played the 1 copy of Roto over the third Edia because you get a deck thinner card and you never need, once you've already seen 1 Edia, you don't need to see another one because your Eidos keeps floating into it. So it makes more sense to play the 2.
Yep. Was it a problem that Edia and Eidos lost harder to Vela?
It's actually way less a problem running the double return. Because a lot of the time you'll summon your Edia, you'll get Vela, you just set, it's not double return, double escalation, you'll just set an escalation and just like go off during their turn. And that's another thing where the 1 tributes come in, is because you're just able to escalation during their turn, like I think some Demise deck, just Kai's banishes Scout, I guess.
Yep.
The spells, I play 3 Domain because I don't play an extra deck. 3 Pantheism, 3 return because I played the escalation. 3 tenacity, 3 stormforth, and the 1 upstart goblin.
Yep.
And then for the traps, I played 3 prime and 2 escalation.
Yep. So you wouldn't consider going up to 3 escalation, right?
No, because it's kind of unnecessary in my opinion. Like you don't need the third one, especially since you can only use it return once per turn. So like it's pretty unlikely you're gonna have 3 monarchs in hand every turn to pop, because the whole purpose behind this is you're able to do it every turn because the return triggers and gives you a monster.
Okay. Alright. Did you want to head into your extra? Oh wait.
Yeah, sure. Extra deck, token for Mithra.
Yep.
Yeah. So the side deck, I just played 3 Maxi. That's pretty much just for going second versus Viking Island Cosmo, so I don't lose the game.
Yep.
The 1 Majesty's Fiend, I just take out the Caius for this versus Cosmo.
How did that work out for you?
That's pretty good. I mean, a lot of times in Swiss, I was like summon this and won the game. I mean, it's pretty brain dead thinking about it, but you know, I guess it works. Oh, actually, that's another thing I want to mention. Like playing second Majesty's Fiend, a lot of the time the Cosmo got out is they'll tribute for Landwalker. So like, if you can get this to a second Majesty's Fiend because you play Escalation, it actually happened to me a couple of times where they go to swing into your Majesty's Fiend and you just go Escalation and drop the second one, and they just crash to your Majesty's Fiend and it still doesn't get its effects. So you just summon the second one.
Right.
Yeah. And I played 1 Mega Mobius. It's just for Demise decks because I played like the double escalations, so you summon this. And also, the logic behind this, like, you know, just pop 3. Plus, if you have a return up, the only card this loses to is Warning because they can't strike it, obviously, and they can't Chaos Trap hold it because it's a water monster. So yeah, it's really strong. And I played, as my outs to like restrict, basically, I played 3 Twin Twister and the 1 Trap Eater.
Trap Eater, that's a card we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, well, essentially, I played 3 Twin Twister. Like, I wanted, what was it? I think it was Jacob, one of our teammates, was telling me, like, you should be running 5 copies of the card if you want to see it in your opening hand every game. So I wanted the 5 outs to Master Restrict, but we came to the conclusion that you could get away with running 4 because of Monarch's ability to dig for, like, cards so excessively with Pantheism. So we decided to run 4 copies. So we were originally running 3 Twin Twister and 1 MST. But we came to the conclusion that since Trap Eater can also function as an engine card, being tribute fodder, and also being 19 attack and beating over the Cliffords, it was actually just better to run than the 1 copy of MST as the out to like restrict and like spell fragrance as well. That's another thing this card has on MSTs. It can be drawn to a spell fragrance to out it, and then you just tribute it for a Monarch.
Did the fact that it gave you tribute photo come out throughout the event?
Yeah, it won me my game in top 4 versus Chris Short. I summon the red layer, like Trap Eater is restrict, and I summon Erebus and Domain lock him. Then I started 2 breakthrough skill. It was for going first in the mirror. I never lost a game in the mirror, so I never got to side this in. So I don't know how good it is, but it seems pretty good in theory because you just stop the guy on their turn, and if they're playing Escalation or Aether, you stop on your turn again. And I played 2 Full House for like Demise decks. I shouldn't have to explain this card. And then 1 Soul Drain and 1 DeFi.
Right, what were these for?
This is for Water, because Water was actually really popular at our event. We got some information that people were going to be playing it, and Water's actually a really, really bad matchup for Monarchs. So we decided to side these 2 cards for it, because they can't play under these 2, obviously they're just floodgates. I did end up losing to Water in the finals anyway, but I did win a game because of this card. So there's that.
Yeah, put in the work.
Yeah.
Right, what were your matchups throughout the event?
In Swiss, I went undefeated in Swiss, but I versed 3 XYZ Monarchs, 3 Cosmo, and 2 PK Fire.
Any notable rounds among those?
Notable rounds. Probably just like one of my Monarch mirrors. Like, I hit him for 7k. No, I put 8k on the board, but I had upstarted him. So I return searched Caius, and then during his main phase, I just escalation Caius and banished it for game. So that was pretty cool.
Alright, what about Top Cut? Did you face what you were expecting to?
Top 64, I versed Clifford Demise. Oh, that's actually a really funny game. Because I didn't play Twin Twister in the main, if they go win a die roll and go first, I'd probably lose. So he wins a die roll and he opens like Scout, Set 5, Monster. And I just go, look at my hand, so I'm like, and he flips Rivalry to standby phase. So I Storm forth and I activate Return and I tribute his carrier for Caius. I go Caius, showing 1 and Return showing 2, and I Caius banishes Scout. And I like use Return to grab Aether, and I go, oh, you're using Carrier? He goes, yeah, so Carrier bounces Caius back to my hand. And then I use Mithra's effect to summon itself and give myself a Thunder token. And because and then he just scoops because he doesn't have his announce his own Rivalry and he decks out before me.
Alrighty then, anything else you'd like to say, or did you just want to go to the shoutouts?
No, I think that's all. But yeah, shout out to Jacob for helping me with a lot of the theory behind the deck and helping me with a lot with the ratios and stuff. Shout out to Kosk and Piers, the other members of Team Gund, and a shout out to Yahweh and Steven for helping me test Monarchs up until this event.
Alright, sweet.